Hey y'all, today I'm back with another Call of Duty Mobile weapon review, and this time I'm looking at the UL736 LMG. Now, I know some of you guys might hear that and instantly think, what? An LMG? Disgraceful, get it out of here. But I promise you guys, if you give this weapon a try, you might be surprised a little bit. For those of you already used to your assault rifles and SMGs, the LMGs, other than the pre-nerf S36, are kind of a different beast, and in this video, I'll try to help you out with that with some stats, a class loadout, and some tips along the way. As usual, I'll have my gameplay going on in the background, but if you've been liking my weapon reviews so far, please leave a like and subscribe. Without further ado now, let's get into the video. We'll have a look at the damage of this weapon first. From close up, out to 25 meters, this gun kills in 4 shots. From 25 to 40 meters, it takes 5 shots to kill, and then past that 40 meter mark, where you shouldn't have too many engagements really, this gun will require 6 shots to kill. Overall, compared to other fully automatic weapons in this game, this does stack up really well. The only weapons that really kill faster than 4 shots of close range is the ASM-10 and Man of War. Again, this is only fully auto weapons. Keeping that 4 shot kill out to 25 meters makes this a pretty hard hitting weapon overall if you can land your shots. This gun fires at 600 rounds per minute, which gives it a pretty good time to kill at most ranges. 600 rounds a minute is sort of middle of the pack, and when you combine it with the damage, it does kill pretty fast, only really beaten out by those super fast firing weapons at close range. For reference, this gun will kill a little bit faster than something like the GKS, but slower than something more like the ASM-10. The recoil stats do hurt this gun a bit. It does kick quite a bit up and side to side, so you will need some practice to control this recoil. You won't be across the map lasering down anyone, but with a bit of practice, you can get it fairly under control. The other stats I'd say are fairly stock standard for LMGs. It does have a big magazine at 75 rounds, but obviously an atrocious reload time of 4.2 seconds, and you will be moving pretty slow and hip firing pretty loosely, so don't hip fire unless you're right up to them with this weapon. The ADS time is also rather slow, so you won't be just like instantly snapping to your enemies. Those stats at the end probably do sound a bit negative, but all it really means is that you have to play with a different playstyle and mindset. This gun doesn't really let you go crazy rushing your enemies. First up, you're kinda slow, and secondly, let's say you see an enemy at the same time. If you guys both ADS, he'll be aiming at you faster and probably shooting first, and therefore probably winning the fight, even though your time to kill is pretty good. Where a gun like this really excels is, let's say, especially on objective based modes, if you can find a good lane with a good bit of cover. The 75 bullets in your magazine will let you really lock down that area, and your teammates can then be free to either capture the objective or be useful elsewhere on the map. Guys, I know that does sound a bit campy, but trust me, especially in your higher ranked master and legendary objective games, I would much rather have a teammate that plays like that than someone who's just running around and getting killed nowhere near the point, or flag that needs to be captured. I'm not telling you guys you have to stay in one spot. If the enemy is smart, they will try to flank you, or maybe use a sniper to counter you. Use your good game sense and map awareness, and definitely reposition if you need to. The good range and rate of fire of this gun will help you cover a pretty big area, as long as you're aimed, and set up, and ready. I see a lot of people using LMGs as just bigger assault rifles, but if you can slow it down and switch up your playstyle a little bit, that's when LMGs are most effective. Now I'll give you guys an attachment and perk setup to run with this gun, but just remember to be flexible. What I say might not exactly suit you, and you know yourselves better, so if you need to tweak this loadout at all, of course go for it. First up, I've got the red dot sight. I do think this is the best sight for this weapon. Iron sights are good for more close range weapons, I find, because they give you that quicker aim down sights time, but also at longer ranges sometimes they can obscure your target a little bit, and I think the tac scope is a bit too long range focused for this weapon. This gun can do work at close range as long as you're set up. So I've gone with the red dot sight, but of course, if you prefer one of the other two, then go for it. Next up is quick draw. You guys already know, I run this on pretty much all of my weapons. Obviously, I'm a huge believer in a faster ADS time because that means you can aim at your enemy faster, start shooting them faster, and kill them faster. But on this gun, there is kind of an exception. If you're going to play really defensive and you think you'll be pre-aimed all the time, you don't have to run quick draw because it won't help you then. Instead, you can choose a stock or laser or whatever you're really feeling. Next up, I've got foregrip on there, especially for that long range work you're going to be doing a lot of. I did mention that this weapon does have substantial recoil, so anything to help with that is a big bonus, and I would 10 out of 10 recommend this attachment on this gun. Finally, for attachments, I've got fast mags. I think that's pretty important too. It just helps you get back into the fight quicker when you're reloading. If you've got like the skin I'm running here, the Aurora Borealis skin, it does give you a reload boost when your magazine is nearly empty according to the description, but I definitely still stack fast mags on there. I do recommend Trip Mine for your lethal on this loadout to protect an angle that is perhaps hard to cover, but tactical can honestly be whatever you want. I love the smoke, so I run it on all my loadouts, but trophy system is obviously fantastic too. And for the perks in the red spot, I've got Flak Jacket. Instead of lightweight or agile, because I'm not really going to be sprinting around the map and just like kind of pulling up on people, I run Flak Jacket just to give you a bit of extra resistance to explosions, especially if someone tries to dislodge me out of my spot with a grenade. I know I can protect myself with that. Toughness is good for those sort of medium to long range fights where you don't want to have any flinch so you can land all your shots, and I think that one is pretty important. And finally, I don't have Dead Silence on this loadout, even though I put it on pretty much all my other ones, because if you're more just going to be staying or rotating between a few spots, you're not going to be running around too much and therefore you won't be making too much noise. For me, it's better to have alert so you can see those people sneaking up on you. That extra warning could save your life. Anyway, that's it for today. If you guys learned anything or enjoyed the video, please drop a like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching if you still are, and I will see you guys in the next one.